Hello, guys. Welcome to another weekly analysis here with us from Duarte Capital Management. Today is the 28th of when? Come on, guys. From October 2019. I'm still a little bit sleepy, I have to say. Didn't rest that much over the weekend. But anyway, let's start. And there is many things here for us to speak about. Friday we had a very interesting move on the market in the end of the London session, which was quite a surprise for some people, and here we are. So the dollar index, as we can see here from the screen, on Friday, okay, we saw this bounce here coming to the key area that we spoke about many times last week. Okay, this zone for me, it's tough. Okay, and you can see why. Okay, so many highs and lows, and here we are, and that's the reason why the dollar, I think, came there and it stopped. So the question I have for today, which is a little bit complicated, but the question I have today is the dollar gonna reverse from here and start moving lower again with that, kind of medium longer term since the high? Are we gonna continue moving lower, or can we break this high today? Because I think this break, if happens today, I think that's gonna be quite key and for a lot for the forex market. And I think if the dollar continues to go up and break Friday's high, is going to be very, very important. Not for just today, but for the rest of the week, I believe. Because look, daily chart, it's very clean of the trend line that we broke, and we are just above now, guys. So if we start breaking this resistance, 97.85, 97.90, doesn't really matter. That zone, I think we're gonna really have a good squeeze here, and then the first resistance is gonna be around this 98.20 area, 98.30. But I don't think that's gonna hold. I think this will be a breakout, which normally leads to a very massive move. Okay, the last time that we had a false breakout was at the highs here, and you can see very clear, very clean, how powerful this move was to the downside. And I think this can also happen to the upside if we do clear that Friday high. Okay, so I want you to be very clear of what can happen here. If you have any dollar exposure to the downside, I think you need to close them all if you see this dollar index break to here, I believe. Okay, so watch Friday's high. If that goes, be ready for a really good squeeze to the upside. Okay, that's my view of the dollar going forward for this week. It's quite basic analysis, I have to say, very clear, which is good for us, right? Makes our lives a bit easier. So that's my plan. And if we look at the euro now, I think it's the same thing. It's the same thing. We had this trend line here with three bottoms on the 4 hour, and you can see here we broke lower, kind of retesting kind of mode, right? But we spoke about this zone here around the 1060 area as well. So if we see the euro breaking Friday's low and then breaking the zone, you can expect a very quick move to that 110 handle level, very clear. Okay, so we are talking here about a 60 pips drop, a very quick drop to the downside. Okay, so that will go with the dollar index move. Okay, daily on the euro, I think it's even more bearish now, because now we are below this yellow zone again, and then down the pressure is back to the downside. So today's Monday. The market normally is it's slow on Monday, unless there is a very big headline, which is the situation today. So expect the market, this dollar to take the whole day to decide what it's gonna do. But trust me, I'm not, I'll be very, very clear, very, very with my eyes very close to this market. Okay, and one market that, if you let's go straight away to plans here. So if we see the dollar breaking that high, Friday high, which currency should you go straight away and just trade against the dollar. If I look the euro, is the euro strong? I think it is. I think it is, compared to other currencies. But let's confirm. Let's look the cable now. Is the cable strong? I think it is. I think it is. Even with the sell-off we had a few days ago, on Thursday, I believe, continues to hold that 128 very well. Dollar yen is a good market to buy the dollar. I think it is for many reasons. One of the dollar side as well, but as you can see, it's close to those highs. I think this one you should keep an eye on. Dollar Swiss, I think it's a very, very good one to watch. Look at the bounce that we had on Swiss since the 18th. 18th was when? Was not last Friday, but the previous one. So since then, the Swissy has been going higher. And one of the reasons, of course, is stocks making new highs, record highs. If you haven't seen that, the S&P just broke to new highs, record highs. So, aiming to that 30-50 now, I think. But dollar Swiss very strong. I think this is the one you should be in your watch list. You can see how strong this dollar Swiss compared to the euro. Look where the Swiss is. Look where the euro is. It's quite quite interesting to see. Dollar Canadian is a good one. This is very weak one. I think this one you should ignore to buy if you want to buy some dollars. I think this one you should ignore for now. I think it's early, but look now this Aussie. I think it's quite weak. I think it's very, very weak. Look, Kiwi. It's breaking now, right? And I think those commodity pairs, I think, is the ones you should really keep an eye on to watch. Okay, gold. Look very quickly. Gold broke this trend line here. Every single person that is very heavily active on the market last week with this break on the dollar of the trend bought this gold. Everyone is long gold. So my question is, what if gold comes down and start breaking below this resistance here? What if below the trend line again, below this resistance level, and it starts to stop everyone out? I think that it's something for us to really keep an eye on, because if that happens, guys, I think we're going to see a really powerful move to the downside, because then it's going to stop a lot of people. Okay, so I think while we remain here, of course, it's a long. Okay, I think the risk reward here for you, it's great, but if we do start breaking below this S1 here, guys, it's going to be a very naughty move, very naughty. And that's going to put even more fire on the dollar to bounce, more fire on the Aussie to sell off, the Kiwi especially. So, these are the pairs I'm watching if the dollar starts to break Friday's high. Okay, what if the dollar doesn't really break Friday's high and starts to go down? Okay, which currency should you look for to sell the dollar? First one, I think the cable. Okay, of course, managing your risk. I think that's quite good, but I think this, by the price behavior point of view, I think it's quite strong, and I think you should put in your watch list. Euro, I think, remains quite good. If we remain above this 1060, I think maybe you can try a long here. And dollar Canadian, of course, I think that's quite heavy. So this one, it's a very straight sell kind of market. If you want to sell the dollar, I think this has the trend there with your side. Okay, and then you aim for this last low, which is around 30.24. Okay, so that's my idea going forward on the dollar perspective. Okay, so let's have a quick look now, market by market, with more detail. So the cable, like I said, 28, I think it's key for this market. First support, but don't forget what we drew a few days ago. I think this is still very valid, which is what's above 27. I think we are bullish, which means we can even drop 100 pips lower, and I think we still believe bullish. So even if we move there, maybe I would try a long. So 127 is key. Why? We spoke about it, but here we go. So 200 moving average, just there. The trend line here, another trend line. I know it's not the biggest or the strongest trend line ever, but it's one to keep an eye on. The 38 to fib from the last low to the high. So lots of things happening in this area. So I think that if we do drop there, I think we should try along, risk about 20-30 pips or so, with a massive target, back to this high. At least, we're gonna aim for a 300 pips move. So it's a really, really nice risk reward kind of market. So let's see until if this 28 holds any break below 128, I think then it's gonna open doors for that 127 move. So keep that in your watch list, guys. Okay. Should you buy here? Really depends on what you think of the dollar. Okay, what we just spoke about a few minutes ago. Really depends on what you do, but keep those two, the plan A and plan B, in your mindset. Okay. Dollar Swiss very strong. I think it's very strong. I'm not sure what to do with this market. It's not clean. When you think it's bearish, it turns, it does a V reversal in your face. Not sure what to do. So let's do this. Actually, let's clear everything up. Let's start from scratch. Okay, so first thing we know is that we have a big massive support area here. We have a key, very key resistance here in this area, right? And first of all, on the middle here, we just have another resistance here. And now we are using this kind of, low here as support. So, what should you do is pretty much play these levels. This one handle is it's really strong, very important for the market. If we do have a daily close above here, then you can have a long and then aim for this 1.0100. So we're talking here about 100 pips move to the upside. But very rangy, but very strong move. Compare in the intraday, in the short-term play, is a very strong move to the upside. So while stocks remain strong, this is a pair that you shouldn't want to even think about selling. Okay, because strong equities, less demand for the Swissy, so that demands lower demand, the price decreases. So the dollar continues to be even stronger than the Swiss, even more strong with equities strong that way. Okay, so those are the levels I'll be watching it on the daily. Intraday, how should you trade this? I'm not too sure. Not too sure. It's very, very choppy, and this is the type of market this is normally. So anytime you trade this pair, you need to know that it's choppy a lot of times. So I'll be watching this 99, 91 one handle. This zone here, I think it's very key resistance. But if we do break above it, then we can see a very nice squeeze to the upside. Dollar yen. So let's talk about dollar yen now. This is a market I'm not too sure what can happen. Okay, but at the same time, it is a market that you personally want to keep an eye on today and tomorrow, or maybe even on Wednesday. Why I'm saying this? Let's turn this to a 60-minute chart. So dollar yen is here. So now I'm gonna compare this with the S&P, so stock market. Okay, and I will compare this with bonds, 10-year bonds. Okay, so the orange line here is equities, the S&P 500, and the blue line here, it's bonds. All right, so dollar yen with stocks has as you can see, very clear, the candlestick and the orange line. Dollar yen and equities, they have a really strong correlation, correct? Now, let's look now dollar yen with bonds. They have a really very strong negative correlation, which means if bonds go down, dollar yen goes up. So, let's talk about today and the past few days, okay? What is happening here is that bonds are breaking down, equities are moving up, record highs, and dollar yen continues to be below 109. And for me, that is a big, tell, a big sign. Okay, so what can happen here? Two things. Number one, if equities or bonds reverse, or both, this dollar yen can really break down because it's already, it's already not following them, or plan B, this can really squeeze up at any point. A delay reaction to the market. This is normal, okay, sometimes. So you have to know both sides and be ready for it, which means that if you see, this market from nowhere start breaking this R1, start breaking Friday. Is this Friday's high? I think it is. No, it's today's high, right? So this overnight high, if you see that goes, you then, expect the R2 to come into play, and then the 110 comes into play. Okay, but if you see, for example, this trend line here goes, okay, this is where you need to start thinking, okay, something is not working well here, is it? So think about it. Okay, keep an eye on other markets too if you're trading this. Okay, but it's a big tell. It is a really big thing to watch today. Are we gonna have a delay reaction? Are we gonna, is dollar yen not really following the market? And if other markets reverse, this can really move down quickly. Because it's not following. So it's one that I'm on the sidelines, seeing what it can do. But it's one that's very interesting. So don't be surprised to see big move up or down in this currency pair for the next few hours or so, or the next few days. Okay, I'm not sure if this big move is gonna happen today. I'm not sure it's gonna happen tomorrow. But I think between today and Thursday, maybe, I think we're gonna have the confirmation of where this market can really go. Okay, so that's dollar yen. Let's now look dollar Canadian. So this dollar Canadian, I'm gonna be very honest here. I'm long this market. Okay, you can call me crazy, but I'm long this market, and I'm being patient. Okay, and the thing is, if I do close that trade and said, okay, I give up, then that's when the market's gonna reverse. that is exactly what that is gonna happen. Okay, so let me show you what I'm thinking here. I think I already shared this trading plan with you guys, but let's do it again. Okay, so it's dollar Canadian on the weekly chart. It is in a very, very strong trend line. Okay, many lows in this trend line, and here we are. Now, did we close with a really good, beautiful candle up below the trend line? I don't think we did. Okay, did we close below? Yes, but not enough. Not enough size below the trend line to confirm or to show me, okay, we did it. I was expecting to see a close maybe below 30.40, something like that, to really show me, okay, the market is really breaking down. But this close for me here, last week's close, I don't know, maybe or maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm not, but I'm still, shorter term, which I will show you guys in a few seconds. I don't know. There is a trading plan here, but looking candle wise, it's not really 100% confirmation that we are breaking the trend line and we are ready to move lower a lot. Okay, now let's move the daily. The daily now it's more interesting. Okay, so you can see here connecting the trend line in the previous two lows here from 2017 and 2018. We can see we are below, right? First candle, not a really good candle. The second one, which was Friday, really nice negative candle. So today I was expecting, of course, a continuation from that, but still we are holding today very early in the day. So if we do see this market breaking below the S1 today, or 30.50, I think that's when, okay, it's really going to continue moving lower. So if we do see that happening, then you have to really keep an eye on the 130 hit level, okay, or the previous low here, 3016, somewhere here. I think that's going to be very possible if we do start breaking below today, okay, below the 3050 today. So if that happens, wait for this area to come. So this is the next level that if you do have any other reasons to buy, here is the place to do it, okay. I bet that if we do break the 3050 today, tomorrow, whatever, I think the market's gonna come here, break that low, make a new low, may even okay, maybe even break the 130, go to 2090, 2990, 2985, somewhere there, and then quickly reverse. So I'm not gonna surprise if this happens. Okay, so that's what I'm watching now. On the 4 hour, looks like we have a falling wedge, but be very careful. Okay, the only way I'm gonna stop be very long here, very heavy long, if we have a 4 hour close below this purple line here. Okay, we have about 1 2 3, you can sort this 5, you know you can say 5 highs or 4 highs in this trend line already. So be very careful. I'm only going to start adding more to my positions if we do start breaking this, and especially breaking this last high here, which is 30. What is the high here? It's 30.78. Okay, that's the only reason why I would do it, because then we are not, we are breaking previous highs, something that we haven't done for a while, because as you can see here, we are just leaving highs behind, right? Just peaks, nothing else. So if we do see this high here goes, that's the first time that we are actually breaking the previous high. So I'm waiting for that to happen. Right now, I'm long, but I'm small. But it's a market I'm watching. Okay, using trend lines. The market loves to go below trend lines for a time and then come back even quicker. So I'm having faith on this market, seeing what happens. But if I get stopped out, then that's fine. It's not a big deal. Okay, oil. It's a market that's correlated. This, after we broke this triangle here on the 4 hour, you can see the oil continues to move higher, but or we are approaching these moving averages on the daily. Not a big deal, but something to keep an eye on. But one thing is for sure, if we do start breaking down, and then if we start breaking below this 55 again, then you expect another test, right, of these lows again, okay, of the 51, the 50 level. If I go to the weekly, guys, this 50 zone, 50 level on the in the oil market, it's massive, right? So if we do see this 50 goes on oil, straight away you can go to the dollar Canadian and you know what to do there, right? But I'm talking here about a longer term picture on oil. This is the market I normally don't trade. I never trade oil. It's like twice a year. It's very low, but I'm looking levels that it's gonna invalidate any bullish setup. So if we do see that breaking below 55, that's when we had the breakout on the triangle, and then that's gonna put more pressure to the downside again. So that's one thing I'm keep an eye on, if and you should, if you're trading dollar Canadian or any Canadian pair. Okay, now let's go to the final pairs, the major ones. So the Aussie, guys. Okay, now this is the one you should keep an eye on as well if the dollar continues to move up, and the reason is, if I do compare and put the Dixie here, the dollar index in this market, you can see here that this market made the high exactly at the same time that the Dixie did, pretty much, which shows that it's very correlated with the Dixie itself. Sometimes you see here, for example, the bottom was made after the peak of the Dixie, and things like that, and you can see here pretty much the Aussie, really breaking up and then down straight away. So I'm not sure here, but one thing's for sure: if the dollar breaks up, Aussie is the one I'm keeping an eye on. We are the key support. S1, it's tough today. So 6807, 68 zone, guys. So if we see this break today, that's when I think that this is gonna go back to here, which means that if you look like this, or let's go to the daily. So if we go to the daily, what does this look like? It does look like a range market, right? It does look like we are in this kind of situation here on the market, which means that if you do break below the 68, then you expect, the 67 come again for this market. Okay, so that's what I believe on the Aussie. Now, if the dollar reverse goes, down, this is, I'm not sure if this is one of the pairs I'll be, buying. I already told you what pairs I would anyway, so that's my idea there. The Kiwi, it's another heavy market. I'm actually upset with these two markets, Aussie and the Kiwi, because as you can see from my drawing here, I was expecting higher levels to sell, but as you can see, it reversed very heavily already. So it looks like this price is not going to be reached, but the Kiwi has support here as well. Okay. But keep an eye on the Dixie. I think you should watch Dixie here to trade these two pairs. Okay, the Aussie here, I was expecting, came very close, but it didn't reach where I wanted, which was around the 69, just above the 69. I was willing to sell there, but as you can see, the higher level here, the highest point was 68.83. So about 20 pips or so, shy from those levels I was willing to trade from. But keep an eye on this dollar and the Aussie and the Kiwi. If the dollar index start breaking up, guys, these are the ones you should keep an eye on. So that's all. So gold, let's go to gold. Gold, I already told you guys what I think. It's still bullish, but this 1500, 1497, anywhere here, guys. I think this is the bullish and bearish line in my view. If we start breaking down, a lot of sells will get stopped out, a lot of sellers, and but we can easily as well come here and does that. So keep an eye and be ready for both sides. Okay, both sides. Equities. So new highs on the S&P. You might be asking me, okay, so where next? I'm not too sure where. I'm not really sure where to go for, but let's add the fib extension here from this high, from the previous high to this low we made, and you can see the next level here, that the first fib extension that we have is 3067. If I go back to the 4 hour, let's add a fib extension from the last range, so which was here to here, and you can see 3035. So what I think here, the first resistance is going to be this one here, 3035. If that goes, guys, then I'll be watching that 3067 for the next target. Okay, so but one thing I will tell you is that never buy any market, any never buy a market at the highs. Okay, that's the first major basic rule of trading. Okay, never buy the highs, never sell at the lows. So if you are willing to buy this market, never buy just if your eyes closed and just buy. Wait for corrections. If corrections doesn't come, well, too bad. Okay, you lost the train, but at the same time you haven't done that basic rule of buy at the highs, sell the lows. Okay, so that's what I want to say here. A lot of people are just chasing this market. It can work, and if it doesn't work, but the thing is, if you buy now, your stop loss, it needs to be a little bit away. We are talking here about putting your stop loss below these lows. That's where I would suggest, which is just below the 3000 mark. So that's what I recommend if you're willing to buy here. So wait for corrections. If corrections come, then you jump in. Okay, so the S&P is breaking the DAX, guys. This has been a really fantastic trade. We spoke about this trend line on the weekly so many times, right? So many times we rejected, but finally after we break it, that's when it came. So here we are. So where should you target now? So let's add a fib here from the highest price to the lowest here that we had on the end of 2018. And you can see we are just on the 786 right now. But I think that you should, I think he is a great place to take targets. I have to say, this is the 13 mark on the DAX. A lot of people, I think, are taking some profits here. Maybe you can add a trend line here as well. Let's have a quick try here. Let's see if this work. Yeah, you can see it does work a little bit, right? So if we see this trend line go, then I think that's when correction is gonna come. Where should you, where should you try longs? I think we have a great support here around the 12,800. If that doesn't hold, then you should aim for the 12,650. Okay, these are the two levels that you should wait for. We use as support to bounce to buy. Okay, but we need to remain above. Let's look the weekly here. So 1200 trend line here is a rare. The 400 mark. I think, guys, that while we remain above this 12,500, we are bullish. Okay, we are very bullish, which in one sense it's good. It's easy to analyze that, but at the same time, buying here, you can see how huge your risk is going to be if you are looking to trade this on the long term. So wait for corrections. If they come, we jump in. If they don't, then we look for other opportunities. Okay, this is not the only one, but the DAX it's going. But here's a good place. If we do break the 13,000 mark, where should you aim next? I think you should aim for this last few highs here, which we are talking about the 13,200 level. Okay, so that's where I would target for. Okay, and that's the DAX, S&P. Let's have a quick look on the other market. So let's look the DAX. So the DAX still not breaking, hasn't broke to new highs yet. Too early to tell, but very close. Very close. Looks like a triangle here, right? Which is getting close to the top of the triangle. Keep an eye on there. Looks like a triangle, which is very similar to the S&P anyway. So that's the Dow. Let's see the Nasdaq. So the Nasdaq, it is breaking new highs. So this one is breaking new highs as well. Okay, so where should you target next? 8,100. I think that's the next likely target for the Nasdaq. But indices are looking bullish. We have been saying this for a very long time. Even this move here that we had lower a few days ago, this move here, a lot of people are saying, oh, we have a top now, but I was like, come on, we haven't broke the support here, and just because we had only one very big bearish candle, that means that the market's gonna go there. It's all about the levels, and it came to the next support and straight away bounce up, which it is showing how this market has gas to continue moving up, right? Let's look at the markets. We already saw oil. Let's look Bitcoin, because Bitcoin bounced. Look how big this bounce was. Crazy as hell. This was on 25th, so that was on Friday. So it started bouncing on Friday, and then had another big bounce on the 26th, which was when Saturday, and here we are. So you can see the market was in the top of a channel, broke the channel, powerful move up, and then after we bounced and stopped breaking inside of the channel again, that's when every short got stopped out and then quickly bounced. So this is how powerful false breakouts are, right? Are really good example here of for me here it shows you how powerful this false breakouts is and how why I love this. So but here we are. So we came here, we are testing this trend line. Look, we never had a break, or actually we had a break, but we never had a close above this trend line here. So it's a place that you should be a little bit careful of buying. I think it's too late for you to buy now. I think we need to take some time here, see what we are building. Are we building here another triangle? Are we building a top? What is this market up to? I'm not sure right now. I think it's too early to tell. But we are in a very, very tough resistance here, as you can see on the daily. I think we can delete this bearish flag. I think it's invalid now, of course. Oops. It's invalid. Invalid. But one thing is for sure, guys. For this to turn very bullish is if we have a daily close above this trend line here, which was the triangle trend line. Okay. Not because of that, but also it's just because we are gonna actually close the first time above this 100 moving average here too. So that's something to watch. I think it's very similar to what happened here. Actually, let me show you. So we had this triangle here. I deleted the trend lines because they're not that important after they break out and retest. So we had this trend line here. Okay, we had this triangle here before. This triangle here. Okay, very, very easy to see. Okay, so we had this triangle here. The market broke out down, reached the target, took very while, but as you can see, after we broke and closed above the trend line, that's when we had another push up. So what I expect here is that if we do break above the trend line, close above it, that's when we have another push up back to somewhere here, back to these highs here. Okay, so let's wait and see. Very early to tell what's gonna happen now, so it's just about wait and let's have confirmation first before assuming what can happen next. Okay, and I think that's all we have to speak today, guys. Nothing really to discuss. Yeah, I think we checked all the markets already. I think everything is covered. Tomorrow we are back with a daily analysis, a quicker, smaller video for you guys to watch. But thanks for being here. Don't forget, please, to subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to leave us a like. Subscribe to our channel, a like. And don't forget as well that we are looking for traders, guys. So if you have a little experience, a lot of experience, you are looking to join, you are looking to join our team of traders, and you're looking for more capital to work with, bigger profits, please come and talk to us. Okay, we are looking for traders. So if you have any experience, 6 months or more, send us an email. Okay, you can join our chat room where we speak about trades pretty much all day long. And so send us an email, let us know about you, and we can take from there. Okay, guys, thanks so much for being here. I hope you have a great day. I hope you have an amazing week. We are here back again tomorrow morning, and take care. See ya. Bye bye, guys.